Hello and welcome to the Friday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID Tottenham Till I Die. Well, we can save dying, can't we? We've had a draw and a win. You know, the wheels are back on the train, the Spurs crazy train, and we've got Atletico Madrid to talk about, mainly about that. I'll let the guys talk about Liverpool because they weren't about earlier in the week, a little bit about Liverpool. And there's other stuff if we've got time to discuss, but we've got plenty of stuff to talk about tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our panel. We have our overseas panel, I might say. We have Alan for sunny California. How's the weather in sunny California?
It's very hot today. It's 36, so it's 97 degrees here.
Wait, whoa, 36 Celsius?
36 Celsius, yeah.
Holy moly.
That's
warm.
Yeah.
I don't know where this weather came from. I don't know why it's happening. I know in the East Coast there's still snow, so I don't know what's going on.
Terrible.
And we have Steve from Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, America as well, whatever. So, or close to Lansing. What's the weather like in Michigan, Steve?
Yeah, I'm not going to feign surprise like Alan down in the corner right there. He's like, I can't believe it's so warm and beautiful in Southern California. No, it's actually nice, man. It's a nice spring afternoon here in mid-Michigan, and you know, I'll defend my citizens of Flint, Michigan by with you saying that we're from Lansing. How dare you, sir? No, everything is great, my friend.
And we have Zeus, who's flown in for Canada to watch Sunday's game against Forest. So he must know something we don't. So hello, how are you doing, Zeus?
I'm good, but that's wrong. It's not myself. Okay. It's my brother who's flying in. He's happy to be in the UK. So I'm trying to get the tickets for him and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, right. Okay. My mistake.
Maybe he knows something that we don't.
Maybe he knows something we don't. Then. Okay.
He's a Liverpool fan, but you know, he's in London and might as well see the best team, right?
That's right.
Exactly that. Right. All right, guys. Steve, we do a little bit about Liverpool before we get on Atletico Madrid. Take it you watched the game, yes, Liverpool?
I did, and it was a good team performance. And even after the first half, you know, when Liverpool was trying to put Spurs to the sword in the first half, trying to get that game out of the way, and what was amazing about that match was coming into the second half when Liverpool still couldn't find that second goal, you started seeing the nervousness around Anfield because they had been in that position before where they couldn't close teams out at home. And then as that match progressed, then you started seeing Spurs get forward a little bit. And then they started connecting passes through the midfield. And then all of a sudden, Richarlison started taking shots. And then all of a sudden, fans really got nervous. And as much as Liverpool tried and continued to fail, Spurs really grew into that second half to the point where there was a point there where I actually thought we would actually nick the entire 3 points. And Richarlison connects in the 90th minute. And all of a sudden, nobody was talking about relegation at that point. When you can go to a ground that has literally been a house of pain over the years for a team like Tottenham to come away with a massive point, I think that was kind of like a line in the sand type moment where I think where players understood exactly the magnitude of the situation that they were in, and you can see the emotion after Richarlison scored that match. And if you remembered seeing that shot from the sidelines where the entire team was jumping up and down, acting all ballistic because they equalized, there was no way they were going to concede and lose that match in that last 5 minutes. And so from that standpoint, it was one of those matches where it's a tangible result where you can point to and say, that's where the season turned around right there. And, I guess I'll credit to Igor Tudor for realizing that his back three wasn't going to work with the personnel that was at hand. He changed it to old school, a little old school 4-4-2 action. And all of a sudden, this team actually responded quite well to it. And obviously, we saw that against Atletico Madrid as well, too. But for that, from that standpoint, it was nice to see. It was nice to see the fight. It was nice to see the heart and to see that these players actually do care. And they were willing to go out there and put a marker down against a team like Liverpool, even though that Liverpool is night and day better than where Spurs are. They weren't going to lose that game, and it was a nice moment, and one where I was kind of curious to see exactly what that carryover would look like against Atletico Madrid, and sure enough, they carried it over. And so now that they've answered that bell, the question is how are they going to respond against Forest this upcoming weekend at home? If there's, if recent history would suggest, because they were able to carry over against Atletico, they should be able to carry it over against Nottingham Forest. And so we're going to find out exactly whether this is actually legit a good run of form or if this was just a purple patch.
Zeus, it was a great confidence booster, which to me, it felt more like a win.
Yeah, 1000%. Like the Liverpool game, even if we hadn't equalized, the performance was good defensively. Thought there was a structure there that you could see what they were trying to do. Now, was that luck? Because there's all this talk of Gallagher being injured, and we were originally going to play a back three, but sorry, not injured but sick. But him falling ill forced the 4-4-2. But regardless, it was very positive in just how we were playing. There was a plan, at least how to defend. There was a plan of what we were going to do defensively, which is we hadn't maybe necessarily seen in the previous games. Liverpool were shocking. Man, Salah, I don't know, man. That is maybe one of the biggest downgrades. Statistically, there is no evidence that players actually play better in their contract year, so they can get the huge contract and then down tools. But man, the fall off from Salah of last year to this year is crazy. But they weren't great. Maybe in terms of at least finishing. Their goal was some not so great goalkeeping by Vicario. It was a set piece, which just shows at least the guys are they're doing stuff positively. For me, when I see a set piece goal, I'm not necessarily I don't call it bad defending, almost like luck, so to speak. But all credit to Tudor, who I want to say I backed some of the conversation around him, and even after the Liverpool, like I said, if you had lost the Liverpool game, I still thought you should get this game, the Forest game, which is enough time to kind of evaluate a manager. I felt, but people were calling for his head after Palace, which I thought was unfair because of the red card, also Atletico because of Slipgate or whatever we're going to call it, and I feel like you need time, right? Okay, yes, he hasn't had doesn't have experience with the English game, but he's definitely seen some things and he's definitely implementing them right now.
Do you know what the amazing part was, Zeus? They didn't score from the run of play. Liverpool did not score at all from the run of play.
Yeah, totally good.
Alan, what was your take on the game?
I watch a lot of Liverpool. I admire the team somewhat. Again, as an American, I don't have the same biases. So I watch how they play. I think I liked watching them play under Klopp more than Slot. But they have some amazing players who I would love to have at Tottenham. You know, Szoboszlai with that, he's very good. He's a set piece artist. You know, and Allison as a goalie is amazing. You know, I think, but if they didn't have Allison and they had a Vicario in goal, we probably would definitely have won that game.
I don't like the Vicario slander. Sorry, I don't. Well,
I will say in his defense, now that we've heard that he's been playing with the hernia, some of it makes sense. You know, the sometimes the misses. You know, why didn't he do this, or why is he diving early, or why is he standing where he's standing? And if he's playing through the pain, I could see why. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have played. Or I guess you could make the case that if he knew he wasn't well and needed, and rather than playing through the pain and not being so good at the top of his game, maybe give Brandon Austin an opportunity. Is that selfish? Is that not selfish? I don't know, but at least I can understand it. But it was the way we played the week before was so bad before Liverpool. But us. How we played
the Palace game. Was it the Palace game?
The Palace game.
I mean, but but we were leading. I know maybe tactically it wasn't great, but we were leading up until the red card. You know what I mean? Like it maybe wasn't great. It didn't look super organized, but up until the red, we were leading. The red card, 3 goals, bang. You know what I mean? So I that's why when people were like, "Oh, he has to go," I was like, a red card changed the game. It changed the game, even though it maybe didn't look fantastic, in terms of organization and coaching. But for me, this guy needed at 6-7 games or whatever. Like, let's go down the list. Arsenal, first game, best team, quote unquote. You're not going to win that. Fulham, okay, it would have been great, but this is literally his second game, so he has that excuse of, I just got here. Palace, red card. Slipgate, that's completely out of his hands. And then the Liverpool game, which everyone expected us to lose, but tactically, even though it was quote unquote lucky, he found a way. And then Atletico, very, very good performance. So he's done well, some of the stuff that was coming out was insane. Like all the sports radio shows, Sherwood, O'Hara, man, people were really going at him. And I feel like there's a bit of an anti-English bias, or at that time, which
there is
justified.
There is
okay, good.
there is.
Right.
And I'm a biased Spurs fan, so I'm going to come on a bit strong, actually, because even after the game, we only got the draw because Liverpool were poor. They played at Galatasaray and lost 1-0. Hang about, we got spanked 5-2 at Real Madrid. And we've come in, we can barely fill the side. And then you look at the subs they bring on, and they're like, oh, we only got a point because we were lucky. No, we weren't. We should have won that game.
We should have won that game.
Spurs bias, I mean, Durham on Talkshite Radio, he's the world's worst in Cundy and that like that. And, you wouldn't think O'Hara would ever play for Spurs either, would you? And they change like the weather, don't they? There's so-called pundits and experts, but they never get it right. One used to say, well, why aren't Spurs playing well at home this season? Hang about, you're the pundits. Why don't you know? You're supposed to be the experts.
Give us a reason.
And then when people phone in, what they do is they just critique the people that phone in. They don't offer. See, they're very good at lancing boils, but they're absolutely fucking useless at offering solutions, right? They don't know, and they're supposed to be experts, but they don't know. So, the only time I work, this is how biased that I am. I only listen to sports talk sport when we win because I know it pisses them off. I don't turn it on.
Even then, they'll try to.
I only watch Sky unless we're playing.
Because if we win, like with Liverpool, we tied. It was immediately, Liverpool played very poorly. They didn't do so well, and there's always a way to diminish Spurs.
So
I will say that I was at that Arsenal match.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there, and we were absolutely terrible in that match. We couldn't string two passes together. Now you can make the excuse that it was Tudor's first match, blah blah blah. It was the same thing all the way really through that Crystal Palace match. It was the same on the backside of Thomas Frank as it was the first side of Igor Tudor. But what I will say is that, when you get a new coach midseason, it is going to take time for at least for a sensing calm for a sensing calm presence, because there are so many moving parts when you're putting in a new tactical scheme. Some players are going to grasp it really quickly. Some are going to take time. And when you factor in the injury situation, and we only have a certain amount of players, it was not bound to hit the ground running. So I wasn't expecting really anything until Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest to begin with, anyways, right? So I wasn't going to be the guy. Well, he loses that first match against Arsenal, he needs to be sacked. Dude, I don't operate under those terms, right? Like, I'm more than willing to give a guy a few weeks to at least implement his schemes, implement his systems, and then by week 5, week 6, week 7, if the results are still the same and the players haven't adapted, yeah, then we can start having those conversations. But it looks like they've kind of turned a corner. But I will say this, Zeus, it's not slander if it's true. It is absolute not slander if it's true. The thing about Vicario is he's brilliant with inside the 6-yard box. Point blank saves, very good. He's got very good reflexes, but shots outside the box, he is absolutely terrible.
He'll be gone in the summer.
And by the way, that free kick that Slobosai hit was literally right down the middle, and it looked like he was trying to lift off from his tippy toes.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, he takes bad pass to the ball on long shots. It's not. By the way, it's not slander if it's truth.
So with that, like, for me, I expect less of a goalkeeper, but I just want you to make saves, and sometimes he makes some extraordinary saves. But it's the stuff that people say he's not good at, maybe being commanding in the box, or marshalling the defense, or crosses, and da. For me, it's like we had Aurelio Gomez, right? And he made errors every game, like, because he was consistent with the crazy errors, like super consistent with it. And it's not the way Vicario gets treated is like that. It's on par with that. So that's why I'm always shocked, and I'm like, defending him in the group chat, which is very hard to do. But I think he does. Maybe it's the whole passing out the back thing. You want a guy who's great with his feet, all this extra stuff that Pep brought in. But I really think he's a good shot stopper, which for me, that's what you need. Great shot stopper.
Yeah, but everybody says, "Oh, goalkeepers are good shot stoppers." That's the first prerequisite of a goalkeeper being a good shot.
That should be the prerequisite. Yeah, the prerequisite.
It is.
But here's the thing, though.
Fantastic saves. I'm not knocking that. Alan,
Yeah.
The one surprise, we'll move on to Real Madrid after this. The one surprise, which showed Igor's not quite sure enough whether to trust Sousa or not yet, he played him right side midfield.
Yeah.
That tells, normally when coaches come on, remember when Modric come to Spurs, right? He wasn't trusted to take control of the middle. He was played on the left, which is what English coaches do. Whenever they're not sure about a player, well, they can trust him. They usually play him wide left. But Susie played him on the right side of midfield. I mean, that was very revealing to me. I think you don't trust him. You don't trust him at left back yet.
Yeah, but he nearly scored.
Yeah, he had a really good shot.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point I'm making is like,
I know.
The left back. We wanted it for balance. Good job, you doggies back. I love you, doggy. But I mean, like, if we can get rid of all these niggling injuries, what a player.
Yeah.
Him and Spence are the 2 second fastest players out of VDV, and Spence showed that. What will come on.
He started, and did he start Xavi? Because Tudor wasn't enamored with Xavi in the beginning. He wasn't starting him. He was playing him later in the game. But then Xavi in this Atletico game had quite the game.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I think
against Liverpool, Xavi came off the bench.
Yeah.
But to your point, Alan, I did see a point. I did see a quote, like a press conference, where Tudor kind of said he was very happy or surprised. He kind of gave a shocked at how good he is, or something like that. So Yeah, I think he's starting to realize and trust him more. And credit to just pointing out Nitar's comment here um, about the back four that Tudor has switched to, which you got to give him full credit, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, all he knows is three at the back, etc., etc. It seems like it's 4-4-2. Maybe by luck again, but at least he's done it the past 2 games. So credit to him for being flexible, which he wasn't getting. He wasn't getting that grace initially.
I think fans are worried he might revert to the back five.
Let's see.
That's a concern. You think, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Alan,
we're passing so much better too. I mean, our passing was
we'll come on to that, Alan.
Horrible.
Atletico made 3-2, right? This was the team. Was you happy when you saw it?
This is against Atletico?
Yeah.
I was surprised that he started Dragishin over Danzo. I thought that because Danzo is consistent, he very rarely has a poor game. And Dragishin kind of he's never really reached the level of expectation that was set for him. So I think I was surprised by that. That was really the only surprise.
And Sousa weren't in the squad, so he couldn't be included anyway.
Yeah, he couldn't be included anyway. But that was the surprise. I would have probably started Danzo if it was left to me to choose the
Okay. So Steve, then you didn't. I'll come on to.
No, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought the issue. Everyone's trying to figure out are we playing a back 3 or a back 4. It looks like maybe you would think a back 3, but it turned out to be a 4 hybrid type of thing going on. But I know I was thinking Richarlison would start after scoring, but I learned that he couldn't. Is that right? He couldn't play this game. He was suspended or something.
Richie was suspended. Yeah, he had.
Yeah, he was suspended for this game. But the attacking patterns like that was there, which was not there on the Frank. Like it looked like they had a way to attack and create consistently. Maybe the outlet being Tell, who should have definitely scored or assisted because it's so clear cut. Like holy moly! But it looked like there was a lot of that. Like, and we did not have that under Frank. I was looking at a table yesterday, like XG, XD difference, and all that. We were horrible attacking wise under Frank, which. I think the article started coming out when he left is that he kept treating us like a small side. Like, maybe we can nick a goal here and there. And that was the issue. And that's why people are like, oh, I think when, Tudor wasn't doing good initially, it was like, how we should have kept Frank. It's like, no, he was terrible. He was awful offensively. We were going to get relegated for sure with Frank in charge, which because he didn't want to play attacking football or didn't know how to. So, it's kind of sad, but he kind of had to go. His methods were not working at all. But, great performance attacking wise, which is what we've been kind of missing. I think the XG was well over 2, and we had some more clear-cut chances. So, it was like old Spurs, like on their Harry Redknapp days kind of things, like classic 4-4-2. Maybe not big man, little man combo, but it was good entertainment for the neutral too. And their goals, Atleti's goals, Alvarez's goal was spectacular, like individual brilliance, and then a set piece, which kind of like luck kind of thing. But yeah, that's what as long as they're not scoring consistently from attacking patterns, that's what I look as like a good defensive performance from us. So they scored 2, but I still think we looked in control for the most part, and you kind of knew what we were doing. We had a good plan and we stuck to it.
Steve, I know you didn't see the game, but we could only field 9 out of 12 substitutes. For those of you watching this, when you're allowed 12 subs in Europe, only 9 in the Premier League. About time the Premier League got their act together and made it 12 as well, especially with the injuries and the pace of the game now. But it was good to see Bergvall and you, Doggy, back, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it was. And one of the things that it's going to be nice to see is Udogie back. And it's not just the fact that he's back, but hopefully he'll be back for the rest of the season. We don't have to deal with any more injuries. One of the things that I'm looking forward to is just the balance that Udogie is going to give that back line. attacking, also being able to track back. And one of the things that we've had a hard time is having that balance in the attack as well too, because we always seem to be so so one dimensional throughout the course of the season, whether it was off the right hand side trying to play Mohamed Kudus forward. We just didn't have that balance on that left hand side. And one of the things that me personally I like with Udogie is he kind of brings that balance. But the interesting thing with Bergvall now is how is that going to fit in that midfield combo, because Rodrigo Betancourt's coming back as well too. And
is he?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but yeah, Betancourt should be back after the international break against Sunderland. Yeah. So if you get Bergvall and Betancourt back, but you have
back.
Yeah, and you have a guy like Archie Gray who is playing incredibly well, to the point where it's like you kind of want to see Archie Gray continue in that role. How does this midfield shuffle now?
Well, you make a good point, Steve, because what I've noticed in games earlier in the season, even although Paulina's had some good games, look, and it's not, we can only speculate whether we're going to keep these players. He's on loan and that. I don't think we will. And the same with Bentancur coming back. But you've got, I think, Kulusevski will compete with Kudus on right wing because we've got so many midfielders. You've got Xavi and Madison for your 10, right? You've got them for your 10. Now you're looking at Bergvall, Sarr, Gray, Madison, Gallagher, Bentancur, Polina, right? Could all play in midfield. Now, we don't know who the new manager is going to be, or how he's going to set up, or what players he's going to fancy or not, or who's going to go. But my money would be on Polina going, actually. Why spend the 27 million when you're in the rebuild? And he's not a spring chicken no more. If he stayed, it don't bother me, because I think he'd do a good job as a squad player.
Yeah, I like Polina.
But the issue I have, the reason we've improved is we got legs in midfield. Bentancur and Polina, they get up and they get the odd go and all that, but they haven't got the legs in the middle to get left and right and cover like Sarr and Gray have got, or even Bergvall. They haven't got the legs, Steve. They haven't. I mean, that's been our biggest problem. What's happened in the last two games, if you look at the kilometres, we're running a lot more kilometres now.
Yeah.
Because we've got the players who've got the legs that can do it.
Or the manager?
If you're on a Premier League, you've got to be able to run for long periods, right? And that's why we've been overrun and keep getting part of the reason we've been getting stuffed. And now I actually think Tudor's hit on. He's seen Sarr and Gray. They dovetailed nicely as well. They complemented each other. They dovetailed nicely. I mean, if you weren't playing Xavi in a game, and you could put Bergvall alongside those two, but then you could still play Xavi in the 10 with two number 9s if your fullbacks are going to get forward and put crosses in. I mean, but look, we bring one player back and suddenly the permutations are trying to prick to the lineup go up exponentially. When we got 3 or 4 coming back, well, you're pissing in the wind trying to select a team. We do it for fun, right? And we really get the 11 right, But so I think summer's going to be very interesting. Who's kept and who goes? I think we know Vicario's going. We know Bissouma's going. Richarlison will probably go. We know that Manor Solomon's going. We know that Elo Javez is going to Bulgaria, right? Then it's a question of Sarr's a good player, but I'm not sure. You're not picking Sarr over Bergvall, Gray,
I'm sorry to jump in, Adrian, but I mean, to me, there are clear profiles that were missing, which is kind of a nailed-on left winger, like nailed-on starter, and a creative midfielder. Like this team, talent-wise, is not a 16, 17. It's not really. It could really just all be down to Thomas Frank being bad. Like I don't think there's not. We can upgrade for certain people. Like I said, missing profiles, but I don't think there's anyone that I'm like, we has to get out of the club. Maybe I'm, I have rose-tinted glasses or whatever. You guys are like, get Vicario out of here. I'm like, yo, this guy's all right. But I don't think there's anyone. I can't think of anyone. Well, maybe someone like a Bissouma who, hasn't lived up to the hype.
He's gone.
Yeah. But there's not. Okay, maybe Bentancur because he gets injured quite a bit or has weird things happening kind of thing. But there's no one I'm like out of the core group. I'm not really desperate to get rid of anyone. Maybe you add to it. Gallagher hasn't been here long enough. It's crazy we're paying him $200,000, but I think it's like under another manager, this team does well. And Frank really brought out the not the worst, but he didn't do a good job of getting the best out of these guys. So
No.
Sarr was our better play, one of our best before Thomas Frank, and then Thomas Frank came in, and suddenly Sarr was
exactly that.
Well,
and then you go under radar as a player and playing so, and a lot of fans go, "Well, get rid of him." Look, he's a good player. I mean, it depends who the new manager wants to keep. But I agree with Zeus. I mean, our main priority is to us. If Decky's going to compete on the right with Kudos, you're covered. If Maddison comes back in April as expected, then you've got Maddison and Xavi as your number 10s. So as Zeus alludes to, right? Yeah, we want a left winger, right, to compete with Odebert when he comes back, probably beginning next season, right? Or even into next season if it's ACL, right? So we want a left winger, and we all know we're crying out for a world-class number 9.
That's exactly right. That's
And-
exactly right.
and
Because
like,
also
so
think of it this.
Our priority
think of
should be, now we've got Sousa, and we can always bring Elisasi in. He's captain of the under-21s. He had 100% pass completion at Liverpool for the time he was on. That's phenomenal for a kid.
Yeah.
And he was demanding the ball, and the players were given to him.
wait, hang on. You want to get rid of Solanke, or what? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. So here's the thing.
I think Richie
Here's
will
the
go.
thing.
Yeah.
He's not
Here's the thing, right?
He's impressed. We all fall in love with Richie. He's done well. He scored goals. He scuffed the goal against Liverpool.
Richie's good for vibes, man. He's a vibes.
But-
We need
but
that.
like-
He's a good vibe.
Yeah, he's in form. So he'll do to the end of the season. But
Yeah.
come on, we've also, I mean, even the time you guys have been supporting Spurs, we've had better strikers than our front three, even Richie Solanke, even Moani.
Well-
He's turned up in European games, 4 goals, 2 assists, or whatever it is. I don't know what he's got. But like, Moani's going. So now I'm keeping Solanke, right? Because I think he did well in his first season. 15 goals he got, 8 in the league, rest in cup competitions.
Yeah.
But like, keep Solanke, but we still need another top class striker and the winger. And we might go back in for Slovenia, which is
Well, you're saying
but he's skillful.
Well, you're saying exactly what I've been saying for quite a long time, because we know that Randall Kolo Muani is not coming back next season. And if you are to get rid of, if you are going to get somebody that if you're going to sell a striker where you're going to get a return on an investment, it's probably going to be Richie, just because of the fact that he actually can get into form. Where Solanke, it's kind of hit and miss. But that being said, you're only left with 2 strikers, Solanke and Tell. So there's going to be a need for a massive upgrade at that position. And if they want to go to Porto and get Samu, they can definitely do that. Whatever the case may be, there's going to be a need for another number 9. Somebody that actually has a strike rate of 1 in 3. It's something that we actually haven't had at Spurs in quite some time. We still haven't replaced Harry Kane or even resembling the production of a guy like Harry Kane. And so from that standpoint, while I agree with Zeus that number 1, the priority should be a left wing if we can actually identify and get that through. As much as I actually would, I've been the one that's been consistently saying if there is an offer for a guy like if there's an offer that comes in for James Maddison this summer, I would also take it, because I actually think that should also be upgraded as well too. I don't like the idea of a 30-year-old coming off a cruciate injury. Sorry, that's just me. If he was 25, maybe I feel different. But that being said, it's like
he won't leave. He loves London. That's the whole point of moving. He's never leaving Spurs. He's going to see his contract out.
Yeah, but that being said, it's not up to him, is it? It
is because you can dig your heels in and not move. We've had players do that before.
It's not up to him. It's up to the club. And if somebody comes in with a $50 million offer, you're going to take it, right? So from that standpoint, the way, if there's a team that values him and is willing to pony up the money, okay. I would assume that Spurs would take that deal. Correct.
A player.
That being said,
if we have got this 300 million to spend, whatever it is, left winger, world-class striker, and I missed a goalkeeper. We're all right at left back. We've got cover, even if you've got Sousa and
I would improve that. I would improve that left back.
Play there if need be. Right back.
I would improve.
Porro. We've got enough midfielders. Even if we lost the VDV, we won't lose Romero. He loves the club. But I mean, if if we lost to VDV or something, I know his family love Liverpool and all that, but we ain't selling to a rival. But if we lost a centre back, we got more than enough centre backs to cover. Vaskovic, Ashley Phillips has been called up under 23s with
Ashley Phillips is not going to be a part of this team.
No, he might
Ashley
not.
Phillips,
But Vaskovic will.
He will.
Hopefully.
100% he will.
No, he should come straight in. Look,
I mean, but
he's better in every metric than Danso is, and I like Danso. You know,
there's talk he wants to stay in Germany though. So
he's under contract.
He's under contract. He doesn't have a say in
that.
If Spurs bring him back, and he will be brought back, he's not going back to Germany.
Sorry, just want to check.
It'd be easy to bring his brother over.
Exactly. It would. Bring his brother over. Or
Just
don't bother bringing his brother. He only signed. He was only 18 and signed the contract last year at 18.
Yeah.
He's absolutely smashed it. Then he smashed it before that at Westerlo in Belgium with Divine. He smashed it at the Polish club. And we paid. Unheard of for Spurs. We paid 12.5 million for him as a 16-year-old at Hajduk Split.
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, let's move on.
Hang on a sec, though. We made some, remember when we brought in Dos Santos? I think he was super young, and we paid considerable funds. So he didn't make it.
He wasted money on Janssen and Kudu and G. Loads of money.
Yeah, loads of youngsters. So hopefully, but he at least physically, he looks like
we got the wrong Fernandez. We got Jetson instead of Bruno.
Jetson, I don't know what he's up to. But just going through some of the comments here. Someone, Nitar79.
Yeah, I'll go through the comments. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Andrew and I got to run.
Oh,
all right, mate.
Thank you, guys. Great to see everybody.
All right, good to see you. All right,
take care.
All right, bud.
So he says we need Richarlison for his shithousery, which I kind of agree. You kind of need that for camaraderie and team spirit and all that. And L Tel Cockerell says our squad is shocking.
We meet up at games, me and El Tel, actually, because he's got a season ticket now. Yeah.
That's shocking. I don't know, man. I think it's all right, just missing a few key pieces, and then.
He's right. It's shocking. It's shocking.
It's underperformed, isn't it? And because mostly the team's underperformed because we've never had a settled side. I mean, there's so many injuries, and every time
injuries,
we get another injury. Go on, Tel, give it to me. Fair enough, Jose. Fair enough.
There you go. Our squad is shocking.
I don't think. Look, results
shocking.
Have created. I think results have created what I call perception deception, right? Yeah. That people think it's worse than it is. It isn't.
It's not.
It is awful, right? There are players that need to go. I mean, Richie's done well for us. Thank you very much for your service, but you're not a top class striker.
No, he's not. 60 mil.
Technically, you're lacking. I mean, Solanke's got a lot better technique than Richarlison's got. So you keep him. Mwani's going to go. We definitely need a striker. We definitely need a left wing, and we definitely need a goalkeeper. They should be the three things. And if Langer and Vinay can't sort that, they need to go. They need to go. The fans want them gone anyway. I get it.
I actually would like to upgrade at the left back position.
Yeah, they'll go. They'll go if the dreaded R word becomes a reality. They'll be gone. No two ways about it. Someone's got to take the rep.
Yeah. They will have to leave for sure. Even if we stay up, they're on the Langa is not looking good for him.
They've got a good chance as anyone, and it's anyone's World Cup this year. Even the USA might win it.
No chance in hell. That's not happening. There's no Alexi Lalas and Danny McBride.
He can do a job on left wing as well, Mike.
It's Brian McBride.
Sorry, Brian.
It's Brian McBride.
Oh, you know what I said?
You said Danny McBride.
No,
I was like, isn't Danny McBride Kenny Powers and in that one? Yeah.
Confusing my Brides.
Yeah, I know Divine scored one goal earlier, Carl, because Gary Ward from Project Spurs mentioned it in our WhatsApp group.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just not a Madison guy, man.
It's that we're on the left-hand side, goalkeeper and number 9. We need a world-class number 9, a world-class left winger, and whatever. and a goalkeeper, and we'd be a different team. These were the subs. Like I say, I think Udogi is more important to bring back than Bergel, actually, because he gives us that balance on the left. And he's so fast as well. Yeah. So that was the subs. Let me go back to the banners. Right. These were really the takes from the game, Zeus. Gray, Tell, and Simmons, weren't they? Against Madrid. I mean,
Madrid. Yeah.
I mean, Gray was absolutely superb. Right.
Yeah. You go online and you see people slag, like, why do we pay so much? This guy's rubbish. And I was like, what? This is why I deleted Twitter off my phone this week, and I'm just it's just a cesspool of like negativity, right? Like, how can you say Archie Gray is bad? Like, across 2 seasons, he's been asked to play in like everywhere, and I don't recall him ever being like horrible or anything like that. But the past 2 games, he's been outstanding. So just more of that. The same. Tell is looking like a new, like.
Well, let's do them one at a time. I mean, like Gray, Steve. I mean, I think he's played about 77 games for Spurs, or appearances, and that's not including his senior appearances for Leeds.
Yeah, like
family of Eddie Gray and Frank Gray.
Yeah. What I will say about Archie Gray is last year there was a case where he was kind of my player of the year for Spurs because he was the kid that was Mr. Clean It Up. Like if there was injury in a position, he was the guy that filled the position, whether it was at right back, center back, midfield, whatever the case may be. He was the guy that was put in there, and he never looked out of place. And it was the same with this year as well too. But at least with this season, he's playing a little bit more of a traditional role, and he's actually grown into that role to the point where it's like, well, the future, the future kind of happens to be in the moment right now, to the point where it's like now you're starting to wonder what it's going to look like if he's given the rest of the season at one of those 2 midfield positions. What is that going to look like? Because I think he's already proven to the point where he can handle the responsibility. And not only can he handle the responsibility, but he can be productive as well too. And it wasn't a surprise that Archie Gray had that type of performance against a team like Atletico Madrid, because it's been a slow build for him to get to this point. And that's the thing. One of my biggest beefs was like, I just want one of our coaches to give him like 10 games. All right, lad, here you go. You've certainly earned it, and we're going to turn to you now because we feel like you can handle the load. And it feels like he's gotten to that point now. I don't think Igor Tudor is going to be in a position where he can make those type of changes. And Archie Gray is probably going to find himself in the 11 the rest of the season.
Zeus, what's your take been on Gray since he's been here? I mean, I love the player. I'm on record, so I watched him play for Leeds up to 33 games. I mean, I watched him play for Leeds, and like, when I first see him, he just caught my eye. But others didn't. It took other Spurs fans a while. I think some have changed their minds on him now after recent performances. I mean, towards the end of last season, like Steve alluded to, because Bergvall finished the season strongly, he was everyone's fans' favourite, not Gray.
No, I mean, I guess the price tag, is what had people really hard on him. For me, I was like, this guy's 16, and he came in maybe more so as an understudy, right? Like, he wasn't definitely supposed to be starting games, but due to the injury crisis in our awful medical department, he had to. So he's been learning bit by bit. But I think with this current injury crisis, he's definitely more assured, and kind of like Igor's, I guess, trusted ward or steward. Like, I think definitely first name of the team sheet, I think, like the way he's been playing and playing against the big boys of the Premier League and also in Europe. Like, it's a lot to take in at 16, right? And he's passed it with flying colors. So I think he's definitely like first name on the team sheet. Everyone else is like, we'll figure it out. Maybe these other guys, Sarr, maybe he might not lose his place, but more likely to be subbed off first than Gray, the way he's been playing. Like, man, like our star, the guy who's kind of carrying us out of this relegation battle. Him and Richie, I think, kind of like people I'm looking to the characters to build around.
Well, I'll give some love to Matisse Tell as well too.
Yeah,
I also think there's like a new leadership group outside of the traditional what we have of leadership group, and I think it is the Archie Grays and the Richarlison and the Tells that are the guys that are like, hang on, no, we're not going to let this get to that point. We're going to drag you guys along with us to avoid relegation. Like I put Tell in that group as well too.
Great attitude. It's got a great attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And funny if the young players have, you take Simmons, Tell, Gray, Odebert, I mean, like, they've got great attitudes. They've shown great attitudes. And I mean, so Tell, Simmons, 2 goals, good performance. We've been beginning to think that Tudor will trust him if he can put performances in like that. Because when you're in trouble, the skillful player usually gets sidelined.
I have to say, I was a bit earlier in the game. I know he had some loose passes, which is he was doing quite that's one thing. People are like, "Oh, he's a star quality player." But there's still a few loose passes, maybe too many that too many. He does, but he definitely played his best game in a long while and chipping in with 2 goals. I'm maybe looking a bit at, is it because it's European opposition that he kind of has the the freedom to kind of do his thing, and maybe that doesn't work as well in the Premier League. I hope not, but you can't fault 2 goals, right? And hopefully he kicks on from there and can bring that to the Premier League against Forest on Sunday.
I mean, a lot of fans talk about, we've got too many midfielders, blah blah blah. I don't agree with that. I mean, because it's the way I would build the squad. I mean, if you've got 25 players in the squad, you've got 2 players in every position. It's 22. The third goalkeeper, that's 23. That gives you 2 extra positions. But the way the speed of the Premier League is, I don't mind having them extra 2 players as midfielders. So instead of 6, you've got 8. So, and I think we're on 7 anyway at the moment. And that's if you don't include Oluseyi, who might come into the equation. And this is why I'm now thinking when players get fit, we might not go for someone like Mainz Aklouche, who I wanted from Monaco.
Aklouche. Okay, yeah. The French.
Yeah, I wanted him, but I mean, quite a few of us wanted him. I put videos out at the time because our club.
I wouldn't see
risk not getting anyone in January. Go on, Steve. Go on.
I would think that Aklouche is still going to be a part of the plans in the summer because of the fact that we still have no idea how Kulusevski is going to rehab and when he's going to be back. That's still
or Madison.
So from what Igor Tudor is saying, that Madison will be back at some point before the end of the season, so he will get a run of games. Kulusevski looks like it's going to be like mid-season next year before he comes back. We have no idea, and so from that standpoint, there's still going to be a room to bring in somebody that is going to compete with Mohamed Kudus on that right-hand side. And so if it's Aklouche, then it's that would to have that as your 1-2 on the right-hand side. That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
100%. That's phenomenal.
If you play like people say, we play Gray, Sarr, and Simmons in it, but you can't play them in every game. You're gonna have to give Bergvall game time. You're gonna have to give the others game time. So you've got to have these midfielders. You might have a preferred 3, but whatever your preferred 3 is, out of say we've got 7 midfielders, then they can't play every game, or we're going to have an injury crisis again.
Right?
So yeah.
Sorry,
Go on.
Sorry, I'm just looking at. I had Kulusevski and Bentancur coming May 2nd, so that's the Villa game. Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, and Everton. So I don't know. I think Steve was kind of saying Bentancur is coming back much sooner than that, like Sunderland.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing is that Bergvall's back now, but Kudus and Rodrigo Bentancur should be back by the Sunderland game. There's a 3-week break after Nottingham Forest for the internationals, and then once play resumes, we still have another week after that before we get Sunderland. So that's going to be 3 full weeks, and from what I'm hearing, those 2 should be back by Sunderland. Definitely Kudus, but from what I'm hearing, we're going to get Bentancur back sooner rather than later.
It's just crazy. Like with the relegation battle, we have all these players coming in, and the other teams they don't have anything. They don't have the reinforcements coming in the way we do. So I know, we're not getting relegated.
There's the other issue with them because they're back. like when you Doggy came on against Atletico Madrid, and that he's not going to start Sunday.
Probably
He's not
not.
up to match fitness
Probably
yet.
not.
But like when the other players come in, it's like him and Bergvall. They're not going to start the game. They might get half hour, 20 minutes. They might get half hour. Depends how the game's going, of course.
True. Yeah.
But like they're not going to get it. So when Kula and Madison come back, they might only make the last couple of games of the season. But they've got to get up to it. I mean, Madison doesn't need. He's not the most athletic, so he's he probably won't need as much game time to get up to speed. But
yeah.
Me personally, I would not bank on Kulusevski being back this season.
yeah.
Right? Like if anything, maybe he might be ready for preseason.
Mm.
Maybe, but then again, we don't know. I actually just heard today that he had another surgery.
Sorry, who's this? Madison?
No, Kulusevski. He just had another surgery on his knee.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
So I mean, I'm not really looking at Kulu and Bentancur to kind of feature in the run-in. I just had the other guys. Kudus, surprisingly, Davis, the long forgotten man, Ben Davis, he's going to be ready April 12th. So another option at left back. But yeah, I mean, still, like when Kudus comes in, like that is going to be. He was literally our entire offense, right? So
that's going to be massive because we, as of right now, we don't have a winger. We're playing without wingers at the current moment right now.
Yeah. And which
is insane. Which is insane to think about, really.
And this is the different. Like Thomas Frank, yes, he had all these injuries as well, but he didn't find a way to generate offense or to even attack.
No.
And Igor has in a much shorter time frame. So it's like if you're rating the skill of the manager, Tudor seems like a better manager. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that remains to be seen because we've turned it around. We've stopped the rot, which is important because we were dropping like a stone and we really had poor form. So we stopped the rot at Liverpool, getting a point, and like we've kept our impressive European home record going. But now we need to improve on our home record, our home league record, don't we? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, the 100 of you watching us on various platforms, big up to you all watching us late on a Friday night, if you're in the UK, especially when you should be down the pub probably. If you like the content, you can see the little red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. We can't. Please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up because it helps the algorithm. Right? Okay. You can find us on Facebook, Spurs Diehards, on XCOM, and we do have a WhatsApp group as well. Right, so what I normally do for people that haven't seen the game, I'll do a synopsis of the game. So I'm going to go through it before we carry on. In 7 minutes, I was at the stadium. There was just under 50,000 there, so it was 12,000 odd down on a full house. That's because of recent performances, though. Disallowed goal, look when offside. He was clearly offside, but it was a heart in the mouth moment. You're always waiting for the signal to go like, yeah, it's offside. On 10 minutes, Tell shoots straight at Musso, who had made some good saves in this game. On 24 minutes, Tell goes past Lamond and shoots. Musso saves near post. And then 30 minutes was 1-0. Tell crosses, lovely cross, picked out Moani. Heads in the bottom. Musa was just left stranded. There's nothing he could do about that. This bit got us all roaring at the crowd. 35, great feet from Gray, sparks an attack. He hit the ball from one foot to the other to slide it through. Simmons slid in Tell. Musso blocked it. And then 42 minutes, Tell cuts in on the right. Ben shot, Musso parries. I'm thinking, are we ever going to score a second goal? We ain't going to. Simeone shoots, ball flicks. This was right on half time, and the ball came off Vicaro's head, and this was a good reflex save by Vicaro. He does pull these ones out.
Yeah, he's all right.
But that was short lived because on 47 minutes, 1-1. Simmons dispossessed, fouled. A lot of us would say he was fouled, but it was Atletico counter attack. He was fouled, right?
It was a clear foul because the player does not attempt to play the ball. He just goes straight for the man, barges him over. It's a foul. Like it should be a foul.
But it it's done and dusted now. We won the game, but Alvarez, nice. It was a good goal. He scored, swiveled a score.
Yeah, it
right?
was like individual.
52 minutes. Gray pushes forward after dispossessing Johnny Cardoso. Freed Simmons, who bends a shot into. That was a sweet finish. It really was a sweet finish for Javi.
Yeah.
By the way, how bad was the dispossession of Cardoso? Just asking for a friend.
Are you worried about the World Cup team there?
No, just asking for a friend. How bad was the dispossession?
Well,
it happens, though. It happens.
It happens, doesn't it?
I know. Just curious.
57-minute Porro post push handbags got the yellow card. I thought this was going to go stronger. Actually, I thought it was going to be more, not for him, but for
the other. Okay.
Yeah. 58-minute Vicario disputes a foul. He got a yellow card. He complains about everything when we concede a goal or anything goes wrong, doesn't he, Vicario? It's one thing he does do.
Yep.
60 minutes, Simmons plays in, Porro shoots. That was a good save.
That was outstanding bit of play. I remember this very well. Even Porro's like outside boot finish or
outside
attempt.
of his right.
That is what
Right.
you don't expect that from your right back, right? That is like a striker who's in the box all the time. This was it. One time, it was brilliant play. Like from a neutral perspective, fantastic. Like if we can do that if we can attack like that consistently, we will finish top 10 or something like that. Challenge for Europe. It was fantastic play.
On 65 minutes, a great VDV sliding tackle. He made 2 during the game. Well, sits near me, calls him, man, his nickname now is Studs Up Mickey. He calls him Studs Up Mickey now, mate. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that VDV is getting in his signature slide tackle without causing red card mayhem. Yeah.
Romero had a good game. He made a couple of vital blocks as well. On 66 minutes, you doggy for Dragerson. I think I nearly cheered that actually. But maybe I'm a bit harsh and I should give it. I mean, yeah, as Gary Wald says, he said he had a fair game in the comments.
It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah, I don't care. Dragerson's terrible.
My issue with Dragerson is like,
his agent?
Has he got diaritis? You know what I mean? Has he got Eric diaritis? Because the one thing with Eric Dyer was he was better in midfield as a defensive midfielder than as a centre-back in my. Although he had some good games at centre-back, but he's reactive, not proactive. And Dragerson's like that as well. Whereas if it's VDV or Romero, they're spot the danger, they're straight in there, like sliding tackles or whatever. And I thought he was a bit slow to react to their goal, Dragerson, but maybe I'm being too harsh. Who knows? We'll see. He's got a lot to do to convince me. I liked him when he come. I thought this player's good because I watched him in the Euros, right, for Romania, and he looked good. And when he come, he started okay for us, and then he got sent off, and then he got caught out of position for a goal. Then I started to question his positioning in games, which you could question for the goal again. Why don't you? Someone like Danto sniffs out danger. He sees it, and he moves in quicker. I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to look at him a bit more closely. Who knows? But
no. Radu Drageson is just not good enough for this level to compete at this high level.
He hasn't shown he's good enough, but maybe
some guys can. Some guys can. Some guys can't. And all I will say about this is last year before the leg injury or the knee injury against Karabag in the Europa League, where he gets burned and his reaction is to draw a red card and get sent off. Right? That's against Karabag in the Europa League. That was the reaction. But for the most part, every single time I've seen Radu Drageson play at the Premier League level, he always seems to be one step slow. Doesn't necessarily make the right decision with the ball.
Not the greatest passer either.
He's not a great passer. He's just not good with the ball at his feet. And I think the speed at this upper level is just something that he just can't handle.
Yeah, when he's
personally,
when he's trying to carry the ball forward, he's ended up giving it away. He's trying to do a Mickey Van der Ven, but giving it away. But yeah, I mean,
he's the poor man's Mickey.
Let's hope his big mouth agent Flora Manea.
Yeah, his agent was
play for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
This is why you're better with agencies at a football club. With an agency, they've got lots of players on the books. Agencies don't mouth off about players' futures or get them moves because it's bad for business.
Correct.
They've got loads of players.
Correct.
You get an individual agent, they're always working a way to try and get more money. And every move they get their player to move, they make more money, you know? So, like, it's Florian. I mean,
how much do you want to bet that Radu Dragoson's next move will be to the Eredivisie in the Netherlands? Like, that's like, to me, that's kind of where he ends up.
I think he'll go to Italy. They like him there.
Maybe
the pace of the game's slower. I think he'll go back to it. I think he'll go back to Italy.
We'll see.
Yeah. On 70 minutes, Vicario saves low from Alvarez. That was good when they cut in and all that. Because I'm right at the other end of the pitch.
It goes from the wing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So what did you think of Tudor's game managing, Zeus?
I mean, it was good to have Udogie come in, like, starts, and he didn't have like much of his effect as offensively, anyways. But I don't think there was any crazy subs where people were questioning what he did. I think everything made sense in the grand scheme of things. He seemed like he was going for it, as well as bringing players back into it. It's kind of crazy. It seemed like, I believe he thought we could actually overturn the result, which is, you got to give kudos to, right? Like, not a lot of people expected anything. Like, we beat Atletico Madrid, who are, I'm going to just guess they're probably third in.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, cool. They're third in La Liga. They're better than Nottingham Forest, like, for all intents and purposes. Let's be real here. So, taking that to Nottingham Forest. But, credit to Tudor, right? Like, he's maybe gone back to football basics, 4-4-2, playing players where they should be, et cetera, unless he has to, like with Souza having to play on the right and all that, right? But everything just seems sensible now. Full credit to him.
Actually, I brought that banner up. That banner was in the wrong place up there because we was on 70 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Same 70. Romero having challenge halfway, yellow card. I like Romero. I'm not averse to the odd yellow card. Players with aggression are usually winners. And we've been too passive a lot of times in some games. 72 minutes, oh yeah. Udogie got a yellow card. He's come back and got himself a yellow card. Right. 74 minutes, it was Bergvall for Porro. He was gassed, Porro. He was gassed.
Okay, good tell.
75 minutes. This was a lovely cross. I'm sure it was Alvarez who took it from the corner. There was nothing you could really do it. And Henko bent low to flick it, bent low a bit with his head to flick it. It was so low when it went in the net. I mean, it's just one of those that I don't know what you do about defending that.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not mad at this. It was set piece, bang, real quick, maybe something they've trained on, but it wasn't. I mean, I think he did lose his man. I think it was Spence who should have had him or something, but I wasn't really mad at it, right? Like I said, it wasn't open play. It wasn't an open play goal. It was a set piece. So it's like, you're going to have those every now and again.
77 minutes, Alvarez shoots. Romero, great block. 81 minutes, Gallagher for Gray. Dance over Romero. Oluseyi for Tull. Yeah, Oluseyi's looked good to me. I've seen him. 89, Gibbons cuts down. Yeah, Simmons, this was a clear penalty. Right. And then 3-2. Scores it off the post. Actually clipped the inside the post. So, like, this is where that banner should have come, right? Just want to go through the stats, right? Even this, Steve, what the stats show. I mean, like, all right, possession was pretty even. They were much better in the second half. We were all over in first half, but I think we were getting gassed, actually. We'd done so much running. But look at the shots, right? We had 11 shots, there 6. We had a total of 18 each, though. Blocked was 6. They blocked 6 of ours. We blocked 9 of theirs. Corner 7, offsides 1. Look, our clearances are 18. Theirs was 31 clearances. We had 15 intercepts 2. And look at our aerial drills. And this was the thing. This is what's happening now, which I think you both would allude to as well. We've started winning the second balls when we've hit them long.
Yep.
Started winning the second balls. And this was very telling in this game. And then you look at the crosses, 23-15.
Yep.
And our fouls to theirs, because we were getting stuck in, right? You know, there weren't much in
Yeah.
the past, but you can pick up a few things in here, Steve, you know.
Yeah, and the things that stick out are the shots, the corners, the interceptions, and the crosses, right? And, you know, I know that Zeus has been harping on Thomas Frank for quite a bit in today's show, and he was absolutely right about it, because we didn't have these type of offensive stats, you know, for the point where it shows that not only are we in the right positions to get interceptions, but also on the counterattack, we're able to set in and put shots on net, create corners where we could actually have an opportunity to get potentially get set piece goals, which we're actually pretty decent at. But for the most part, you look at the crosses, 23 crosses, which is absolutely phenomenal. Which means we're playing, not only are we playing balls in from from standard positions, but we're actually finally pinging balls into the box at a rate where we're actually going to give our strikers an opportunity to do their job. So from that standpoint, the turnaround is clear, not just in the performances, but also in the numbers as well too. It backs up that this isn't just some purple patch. It actually feels like this is actually a clear improvement and a turnaround.
Yeah, them shots there, the 11-6, that should be shots on target. I haven't put that in. I normally put it in.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
11 shots on target, 7 corners, and 23 crosses.
Yeah.
Great googly moogly.
So just harking
18
back,
clearances defensively, and look at the aerial drills, 78%
Yeah.
to 22%.
but just going back to the offense, and the ability to generate offense. Like I said, it just seems like there's a way. We know what we're doing, to score. Even attacking wise, there's a plan. You could say, okay, maybe it's European competition, but even when we played European competition under Frank, I think a lot of the goals were set piece based. I don't remember us really creating much, and
scoring
so this
from the
is
run of play.
we didn't talk about tells like the ball you should have squared across, but there was opportunities, tons of them, and it's exciting. It was open. We're going for it. So this I want to say is all Tudor. So full credit to him. Yeah,
I should have got past completions down here, because we were slick. Our passing was slick, incisive, and we, instead of like just slightly overhitting or underhitting a pass in previous games where we've given the ball away, we caused them no end of problems. I don't think they're actually a great side. Not that we are either. But when you consider we gifted them 3 goals on Slipgate, as you alluded to.
We would have won this time.
I mean, and we beat them here. I mean, after we were 4-0 down, before we pulled one back there, I thought we were the better team out in Madrid. And then you might have us say, well, they stepped off the gas and all that, but you can look at it both ways, either that or we were going for it. We didn't crumble though. But even during our recent poor form, we were dropping like a stone. We may have lacked confidence. Our confidence was fragile, but we didn't crumble. We haven't crumbled, and then lost 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 in these games, Right, okay, let's move on to this.
Sorry, who do they face? Who do they face in the next round?
Barcelona.
Yeah, we would have smashed Barca.
And on the side they go Barcelona, probably meet Arsenal in the semis, and then Bayern Munich in the final. I mean, that's the way it could go. I think Bayern are a good bet. I think PSG are as well.
Yeah.
And everyone wrote off PSG at the beginning. But they were crap last year. They had to qualify. They had to go through qualification, and then they go through and won it and smashed Milan.
Yep.
Forest home, guys, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this came out today. Steve, Vicario needs to turn up. Does Vicario play? If Vicario plays and makes a costly mistake, imagine the outcry. I mean,
but I do think he plays, because from what I'm hearing is that the surgery will happen, I believe, early next week. Yeah, like on a Monday or a Tuesday. And so with the international break and with that extra week, the idea is that he theoretically could be ready for Sunderland when we resume. And so it seems like the timing is absolutely perfect for this to happen. But me personally, I actually there has been no word that Kinski will start or Austin will start. So as of right now, I'm fully expecting Vicario to start against Forest, 100%.
Okay. You too, Zeus, yeah?
Yeah, 1,000. Like the enormity of the situation. Like, there's no, Kinski. You want
I like
to redeem.
I like Kinski, by the way. I think Kinski is a very good goalkeeping prospect.
He'll
But
get a
that being
chance.
said,
If we pick up
that
points,
being
he'll get
said,
a chance to get.
I have a feeling that if Igor Tudor goes to Vicario and says, "Are you good to go?" and Vicario says, "Yes, he's playing."
Like the enormity of the situation. Like, I think psychologically, this is where you gotta really.
Yep.
This is gonna be tough to handle psychologically. So Kinski, yes, he can redeem. He wants to get back in there, redeem himself, but I don't think this is the game to, take that risk. Like, to me, like I said, Vicario, I think, is great at what I expect him to be great at, which is saving shots. But, I know the bonus stuff. He doesn't have that, but like he rarely has like crazy type Aurelio Gomez. It's like he should be doing extra stuff. It would be great if he did extra stuff, but it's not like he hasn't slipped like that, if I remember, in like 2 seasons and missed kicks and that kind of thing. But yeah, like we ride it out. Like we ride with Vicario. Like I like him. I like him.
Fair.
Okay, Vicario starts right now. We've got a 19-day break after this, so there's no reason why Tudor can't go strong.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the back four, guys. Who are we going for? I mean, I'm assuming it's a back four. He's not going to go to a back three again, right?
Correct.
But we can talk about both. I mean, like, if it's a back four, Steve, who's the back four?
It is going to be Porro, Romero, VDV, and Udoji.
Ooh,
You're going to
interesting.
start really?
Yeah.
Go on,
I'm going to start Udoji.
I see Danso starting. Maybe one of his trusted soldiers at this point. I think Van de Ven might be the one to miss out as a result. So I'm going to go Porro, Romero, Danso, and
you going to back three?
No. One more coming in.
Spence? Sousa?
It's probably not Sousa.
Doggy?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be Spence or Dogi. I think Spence. I think he's gonna go with Spence. I think he's gonna like what he saw at Liverpool. So Spence.
Yeah, I'm going Porro, Romero, VDV, and Spence. I don't see Doggy starting this game as he's just come back. Only 20 minutes. I can see him coming on as a sub in the second half, getting half out.
I'm sure you're right. But that being said, it would be nice to see Udoji go 45. That'd be pretty cool. You still do have Spence that if you need to make that substitution, you can. But I don't know, man. Like I just want to see Udoji back to his Udoji ways.
Udoji way. But you don't see Danso starting?
I don't.
No, because I think from Liverpool, when he was gassed, he went down. He looked like he was carrying a knock, but he's a warrior, isn't he? He is a warrior, right?
By the way, I like Danso, but
I figure he didn't start against Atletico.
I like Danso, but Romero and VDV, when they're playing with supreme confidence, they're the best two center backs that we absolutely have.
And he's left-sided VDV, so you play him. Yeah. And he can cover the left back as well. So because he's left-footed, so I'd go that. Question is, I mean, like midfield now.
Great.
I mean, midfield's loads of options with Gallagher back. I mean, you got Sarr, you got Bergvall, you got Gray. So I wouldn't change much. But
exactly. Yeah, Gray and Sarr.
Yeah.
Gray and Sarr, yeah.
Gray, Sarr, Xavi. Yep.
Yeah, I'm the same. Gray,
maybe Sousa on the left, maybe Simmons on the right, something like that. Like a bit of a weird mix, but.
If I think if Sousa comes on, he's not coming on at fullback.
Wait,
I just don't.
We're playing 4-4-2, right? So
or 4-2-3-1. He might go to 4-2-3-1 as long as it's 4 at the back. But I think he should stick with 4-4-2 because that sort of worked. Even though we did drop back to sort of 4-4-1-1 when Solanke was playing, he was dropping back. But I would stick with a 4-4-2.
Yeah,
then-
4-4-2. That means Xavi is actually playing up in the 2 with Sar and Gray in the midfield, and that leaves like what Richarlison and Xavi up top.
Yeah, I mean Solanke. He said Solanke's okay, but we all got doubts about that because he didn't take full part in training. So he was obviously being held back. If he says Solanke's fine, I think we're sick. If this is such a big game, you can't risk players. I mean, like, then to me,
well, who are your two outside? Who are your essentially your two outside mids on the left and the right? Simmons on the
if I was really playing 4 across the middle with a 1-and-1, then I would start Bergvall on the left side of midfield.
Bergvall on the left, Xavi on the right, and then what? Richarlison, Solanke up top.
I would give
RKM.
I would give Xavi a free roll, and
Okay.
like I would play Bergvall, Sar, and Gray, and Xavi would be the 4th one.
Okay,
right? But that's 4-4. Now you've got 2. Now you can still, because Bergvall will get down the left. You know, now you've got. It looks like Moani and Richarlison. Because Richarlison is not fit, and I would go like that. But if it's 4-2-3-1, you got Shah and Mosna, and then you got like Tell, who deserves to play. Let's be fair. Tell. Then you've got Xavi, and then you got Moani on the right with Richarlison up front. And I think Tell will play because he gives us a.
I actually think Tell will play as well too.
Yeah.
I think Tell will probably play on the left side, Xavi on the right, and then I think you're right, Richarlison, RKM.
So I'm not 4-4-2. I'm not starting Bergvall. He ain't had enough game time, right? Not because I love the player. So I'm playing Tell there. So it would be Tell, Star, Gray, Xavi doing whatever he wants as far as I'm concerned, and then you've got up front. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's your scores, guys? I've got a couple of banners after the scores. What's the scores?
Ooh, I'm gonna say.
And the chat. Scores in the chat. Give us the scores.
You know what? I'm gonna say 3-1 Spurs at home.
Gonna say 4-2 Spurs.
Oh, you're going crazy.
Yeah, I think the monkey's off our backs. The vibes are good. New players coming back. A lot of options. You know, gives the manager tons of things to change things if need be. He's not limited. His hands aren't tied behind his back anymore. It's like we're better. We're better we have better quality than him, and it's going to show. I think he's figured out how to get it to show.
Big up to those listeners on the right. I've just got through to you now. Yeah, I mean, I've been joking on other channels. Someone went 3-1, someone went 5. I went, damn it, I think, and Gary, I'll go 5-1. Actually, I think it'd be 2-1 Spurs, to be honest. I hope it's more, obviously. I don't see us losing, though. Yeah, we all want a change of ownership, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, either.
Levy in. I want to say I was never against Levy. I never understood the hate because, he's a businessman and, we got to run a business. And people say, oh, you didn't replenish the squad. Should have bought players after the Champions League. But then again, they had to build the stadium, et cetera, et cetera. The only issue I previously had was the sacking Mourinho before the cup final. And you guys have told me that the atmosphere was horrible. And he did it in order to kind of uplift the squad. So I've never really been a Levy outer. You know what I mean? He's a principled businessman. That's kind of what it was. And I know with sports, it's not really principle all the time, but that's just, I never hated the guy.
I should have put this on actually, because that way the chat comes up and then they're not ignored if I miss them. So we've had 3-0 and all that. Right, hang on. Let me just go. So these, after beating Liverpool, Zeus, right? Beating Liverpool, drawing with Liverpool, getting carried away now. I mean, prior to Liverpool, now just having Liverpool in this list of remaining games made it look that much tougher. And we think if we'd lost to them, the confidence would have been shattered. But now, these remaining 8 games don't look so intimidating, do they?
None. Remember, Kudus comes back Sunderland game. Remember that. None of these teams are great. Actually, Sunderland are one of the most overperforming. They are the most overperforming team in the league by far. So they should have 10 points less than they currently have if you're into like XG and all these other things. So forget about them. Brighton, mid. Wolves, decent. They're, showing some signs, but still, I don't think we're a better side than them. We have momentum. We have players back. Kudus is back. Our attack is back. Villa are not good. They're like doing badly. Leeds are in the mire with us. Chelsea, as we've seen, not great, inexperienced, etc., etc.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Yeah, Everton. Okay, like none of these teams are like apart from to me, apart from Arsenal. Maybe
we're not well beaters, but neither are any of these. I mean, like
exactly right. Like this league is kind of crazy. Like that.
Yeah,
there's not too many great
Premier League
crowd, but there's not too many standout teams.
I think we'll beat Forest, draw against Sunderland. Believe it or not, I think we will drop it to Brighton. We'll beat Wolves. We'll draw against Villa. We'll beat Leeds. Lose away at Chelsea because we never ever beat Chelsea there, and then we'll finish out the season by beating Everton at home, and we will stay up.
I don't think we're going to lose a game here on out. I see us picking up points. Maybe Everton. I think we're going to draw for some reason. End of the season. Maybe
I have losses. I have losses against Brighton and Chelsea, and draws against Sunderland and Villa, and then wins the rest of the way.
I see everything will be great. Just Everton game. Maybe we'll get carried away after they've built the Tudor statue and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be maybe like how many games? 1, 2, is it 8 or 7?
8.
8 games. I feel we'll go like 4-4 or something like that. Like 4 wins, 4 draws. Like I'm not sure what the draws are, but I don't fear any of these teams at all.
I think we lose 2. I think we lose 2 out of the last 8. But there's enough points out there that we'll stay up.
No, we're for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Right. We won't be sitting comfortably till we are fine. But I mean, like, let's hope it doesn't go to the last game. I remember we had to do that. I think it was 1975, and we beat Leeds, who were a top class team. Then we beat them 4-2 in our last match to stay up. Right, 1 point. This has been bugging me for ages. Like, I mean, in the news, Chelsea punished for financial irregularities. Proves Chelsea gained player advantage and cheated Spurs of a Premier League title. Now, the reason I say that, I mean, we know one player they got in at the expense of us was Willian. They nicked him at the last moment of us, and he goes and plays from now. This is only the Premier League charges against Chelsea. They've still got to face 74 FA charges, and Man United have still got their 115 plus charges. So we're going to discover how corrupt football is if this isn't dealt with properly, especially after what happened to Everton and Forest with their points deductions for minor financial irregularities. So what's your take on this, Steve?
My take is simply that an example has to be made. And it's because of what happened to Everton and Forest for minor financial irregularities, and they were quickly dealt. It was quickly dealt out. There was no, we're going to wait 5 years nonsense. We don't. It was like literally like no. Here's your points deductions, and may peace be with you. Right. The issue here is that you're dealing with a team that has been proven to skirt the financial rules for their own gain, whether that is handing out contracts over the course of 8 years because it's a lower hit to their wage bill, or whether it is using their sister club in Strasbourg to have player moves, only for them to come back on a lower wage to circumnavigate PSR. This is a team that has continuously and religiously cheated. gained advantages over those teams that were actually playing by the rules. And so from that standpoint, the way that I look at this is that if you don't punish Chelsea, you can't punish anybody else ever again even for minor irregularities, because the reality is that these were designed to keep everyone in check, to be playing by the exact same standard of rules. And so from that standpoint, you've already dealt with teams for minor irregularities. So from that standpoint, it seems pretty cut and dry. It seems pretty goddamn cut and dry with Chelsea. And so from that standpoint, an example has to be made. And so from that standpoint, if a points deduction was handed out for minor, what are you going to do with major?
Relegation.
And it cannot be just a slap on the wrist, acknowledging the fact that they cheated, but it's okay because they're Chelsea. It's okay. But this goes back to Abramovich. This goes back like to the early Abramovich years. And so from that standpoint, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Todd Bowley was like, hey, look at our books. It's like, no, because they've been doing this shithousery under Todd Bowley as well too.
Just on Abramovich, Steve, and it's probably the same in Canada and America, right? When he's come to this country, but prior to all this scandal about Chelsea, he was refused British citizenship as a Russian, right? Because he's pally with Putin. Now, our MI5, MI6 and security services, like, they keep a tag on all these. Like, there's been a lot of Russian money, laundered through the city and buying property and things like that.
Oh, I love Russian
British
money.
governments, like the American, probably Canadian governments, they only move against these people when they feel it's necessary. I mean, in a lot of cases through corruption in politics, you start putting hundreds of millions of pounds into the British economy, you're going to get a knighthood and put in the House of Lords or whatever. Right? This is what's going to happen. Didn't happen with him. He was refused membership. I think he's in Turkey now. I think he might have took Swiss membership or nationality. Sorry, not membership, nationality or something, or Turkish now, because he was refused. That told me a lot straight away. I thought, this guy's dodgy. If the government have refused him British nationality and he's worth X billions, and then to walk away from a club that's worth 2 odd billion, right, with no money, without putting up a fight, right, that tells me he was given a word in his ear. If you don't go quietly, you're going down. You don't walk away from 2 bill. You don't. No one does. Not in my mind's eye. So something's happened behind the scenes. I think that money's still in an account, hasn't been paid, that he's supposed to pay. I think it's supposed to go to Ukraine or something. I'm not sure. But, yeah. So he was well dodgy. With the Man City thing, which hasn't come up, because that'll be next, 115 plus charges. That goes back to Pellegrini and Mancini. Yeah. And you couldn't do them because the statute of limitations run out on that in 5 years. But we haven't got a statute of limitations in the Premier League. It stays open. So So we'll see. And I have got the list of the charges on a file somewhere. I know that one chunk of charges for lack of cooperation. Right, so you're going to get done if you don't cooperate. You're going to get done, right? Others, it's about money. They did get off of third party sponsorship deals, even though the sponsorship was for extortionate amount of money, that companies would nowhere near pay. They got around that one. They won that case, but they're not off on these other charges. So we'll see what happens. I mean, most fans are disillusioned and think like nothing will happen, So yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to add that the money that Chelsea is using to pay the fine is coming out of the money that I think Abramovich pledged to send to Ukraine aid or something like that. Like, so it's not really, they're not really being fined. They're just, they're kind of nothing happened to them.
I mean, if you're going to punish teams for financial irregularities and a gain through getting players in on top wages and that bid other clubs because they paid them through third parties, then the minimum they should get, the very minimum they should get is a transfer embargo.
Yeah, 100%.
For 5 years. That's the minimum punishment they should get because they've gained an unfair advantage. If you look at Spurs, they pipped us to the title but they've got Willian in. They've got other players in, right? I mean, even with Man City, I mean, I don't want the title off because of the way it all turned out. But Man City beat us 1-0 in the League Cup final. Others would take it, you know. But I mean, this whole thing, it just stinks, doesn't it? The corruption stinks, and it needs to be sorted out. And it'll be the usual. Oh, we'll sort it out this time. We'll let it go this time. But next time, if it happens again, blah. No.
They should be stripped. They should be stripped of their titles. There should be a transfer embargo, and they should be relegated. Period and point blank. Period point blank.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's like,
it's not going to happen. And if they're not going to get relegated, then they should be not only should there be a transfer embargo, but they should not be eligible for European play for 5 years.
Yeah. So something harsh, something that really said the league means business, not just this empty fine and suspended ban, which is nothing. You know, so there you go. The rich get richer. Poor guy.
That's why you have to make that's why you have to make a statement with both of these teams. Quite honestly, because if you don't, then you can't punish anybody else ever again.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Right? Because let's just say there's a minor irregularity with Spurs, something so minor, and all of a sudden, you know, there's like a 10-point deduction. It's like, well, hang on. Chelsea and Man City combined had like 300 major infractions between them, and nothing happened. No. You're not going to punish us at all. Sorry, that's not how it works. It's either you punish all of us fairly across the board, or you don't.
Yeah. I still go back to the Forest and Everton punishments, and then either they were trying to punish Leicester City, but they were in the second division, they were in a championship at the time. So I think there was a loophole where Leicester got out of the problems, you know. But which for most fans, they weren't so hard on Everton, Forest, and Leicester because they haven't won any trophies. But when you've won trophies, you've gained like that. You know, it just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But Mike reckons nothing will be done. He may be proved right. I hope he isn't. I won't say I told you so if I'm proved right. I don't go down the I told you so route. I just let things sink in. But
Adrian, I do have to jet.
We're finishing there anyway. So I'm just about to say that was it. I mean, that was the last thing.
Okay, cool.
Any last words, Steve? Get over to Stateside Footy. I forgot to get his link in today because I've been busy. Go over to Stateside Footy, guys. There's still got 8 of you listening to us.
Yep.
Zeus has got to go as well. I'm sure we're all looking forward to the game on Sunday. We're actually looking forward to a game now rather than dreading the game. With that, guys, I want to thank Alan. I want to thank Steve. I want to thank Zeus. Have you got any final words, guys?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm looking forward to Sunday. This is the first time in actually quite a long time. And it seems like the momentum has carried over from Premier League to European nights. And now we'll see if that translates back to the Premier League. It feels like this team has turned a corner. So from that standpoint, man, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this team get the 3 full points against Forest. I know that our home form has been absolute dog shit this season, but that being said, there's an old saying, better late than never.
Zeus, any final words?
Start to build a 2-door statue. We're staying up and in fine form too. Like it's going to be one of the greatest coaching, I guess.
We're not dead yet.
I believe. I think he knows. He's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. We're going to see more of it on Sunday, and we're just gonna go from strength to strength. And it's they might offer him the job, and he might just turn it down and say, "I want to go back to Italy" or something like that. But I really think, the team is clicking, and they've got a good manager now. So, yeah.
He's drinking the Tudor Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the game. I mean, makes a change rather. But yeah, so I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Alan who came on earlier. I'm sure he'll give us more time next week. Thanks, Steve. Zeus is always welcome on the Friday show as well. We'll try to get Eugene on, but because your clocks have changed,
Eugene
for him. So
we
can get you guys on regularly on Fridays, that'd be great. So when our clocks change again, no doubt we'll be more in sync.
All right, great.
And with that, I want to remind the 80 of you that have stayed with us. Thanks. Big up to you all. Big up to everyone who watches on playback. Appreciate comments in the chat and any questions you've had. Like I said earlier, you can see the little red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. We can't. All you got to do is click the subscribe button. It only takes a second, takes you to the page, our YouTube page. You can give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'm going to say thanks to you all again. I'm going to play you out the bit of music I wrote.
We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. Blue. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul, lily white and navy blue.